Hola, soy Miguel y nací y me crié en México. There are traces of theater all the way to the pre-colonial times, basically when there was a bunch of small civilization, antique civilizations. They had performances, and they were mostly just for religious purpose. So they would read out loud the text from the gods, and maybe people would like dress like someone, but they would just read text out loud. Sometimes there was music and that kind of stuff. Theater really started with the arrival of the Spanish. They used it mostly as a colonization method. They would read out loud the Christian stories, and that's how they were. It was the easiest way to give information out, and that's how one of the Mexican like traditions started. They call it the posada. So on December we have like little setups, and we reenact stories from the Bible, mostly the birth of Jesus, that kind of thing, for Christmas.
Здравейте, казвам се Несел от Bulgaria. I'm Bulgarian, and in Bulgaria the theater is quite popular in the bigger cities like Sofia, Plovdiv and Blagoevgrad. I live close to Blagoevgrad and I've been to a couple plays, but we have a couple academies, I believe, in Sofia, and young people are interested in playing and taking part in plays. I've been to a couple plays with my school, and one of it that really impressed me was based on my the person my high school was named after. His name is Dimitar Talev, and the play was based on one of his books. Many people from Volgograd and Sofia came to our school, and they performed part of his book, which was very interesting to me.
Hi, my name is Kron, and I'm from the Philippines. Yeah, I mean, there are two main theaters that people go to. One is for more of the local productions. Meanwhile, there's one that's far more commercial, in that they have like Wicked and Chicago come in and play like 6 months at a time, that kind of thing. Well, they're usually not in English, they're in the native language of Tagalog, and they're usually just depicting historical events that have taken place throughout like the Spanish colonization period. From the 1st through the 5th grade, we always had these massive Christmas performances, and I always had to be like in the choir, just constantly singing, like accompanying the music as it was going along. And then once we had to do Noah's Ark, and I was giraffe number 2, but I was also the understudy. Giraffe number 2 got sick, the original, but I knocked it out.
Hello, my name is Cenk. I'm from Turkey. But in Turkey it's important because I think it's a way of expressing certain important historical events. So during some certain holidays at schools, there are theaters showing the history and games. So it was important, yeah.
Hi, my name is Dima Adigwe and I'm from Nigeria. Well, I performed in a play called Aida in high school, which is based on a Nubian princess, so kind of like an African theater. Yeah, so it was really nice. It was a lot of singing, a lot of harmony. It was so good.
Hi, I'm Chris. My family's from Taiwan. I spent a lot of time in Asia growing up, whether it be in Taiwan, China, or Japan, but predominantly my parents and background is from Taiwan and China. The theater in China is really, really particular, since unlike theater you'd imagine in the Western world, from what I've seen, it's filled with a lot of Chinese opera and acrobatics, and they really like to put up a huge show and have like a lot of flash and have a lot of like precision work and everything. But it's not something that you would see at most other places in the world, since I'm not sure whether I'd say it would be like a style or if it's just the cultural influence on the entire perspective of theater over there.
Oi, eu sou Amanda, eu sou de São Paulo, no Brasil. Oh, definitely. During middle school especially, I did one play that was based on migration from the Northeast to the South, and it was about poverty and how migrants overcome difficulties. So it was very interesting because it was also part of an interdisciplinary project. So it encouraged the kids to learn and discuss those issues and become aware of it from an early age. So that was really important. And during Carnival, our big themes, people work throughout the whole year before February, where they have weeks with the parades, and all of them tell a story within the music, and they produce all those costumes, and they always tell history. Usually the most famous themes are about slavery, which was a big part of our history, our colonial history, and as well as regional differences. So it's very interesting to see that. It's one of the traditions Brazil keeps every carnival.